working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love. They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repentant. They hate the fact that we're truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks. With these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Undoubtedly, the one you call Jesus Christ was a black man. He was melanated. He had hair like wool. He had a deep voice. He was dark-skinned. He wasn't only just a black man. He was a dark-skinned man. He wasn't brown. He wasn't light-skinned. No, Christ was dark. We're talking about Wesley Snipes, dark. So let's make that clear. That's how he's described biblically. I don't know who this character is that they put up, but clearly the Most High God ain't happy with it. What my man Sizzler say? We serve no white God. I'm sorry, he's not white. Christians, I know that you have a hard time accepting this. You have a hard time understanding that Christ is the same image as your sons, as your uncles, as your father, as your grandfather, as the man that you dealt with. Yeah, he came in that same image. His lineage and bloodline is of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He comes through the lineage of David. He was a black man, all right? There's no doubt about it. In some extra biblical text, on record, on file, it even goes into race attributing to his crucifixion. because of the things he was bringing to the world. They even say his race contributed to his crucifixion. Now, let's make that clear. And if you have a problem with that, if you have an issue with that, so be it. But make this clear. Regardless of what your nationality is, your color, kindred, or creed, if you choose not to remember Christ as the scriptures have said, that's on you. You have to take that up with the Lord. But you see how the Lord is dealing with false idols.
Are you children of Israel? We are the biblical Israelites. Let's shine our light on this entire world and let them know that we're not standing for these 2/3 and their evil intentions for us. And we're not falling for the tricks and the charades. It's time that we rise up, honor the law, statutes, and commandments written up in that Bible, and stay on the right direction. What's going on, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. What's happening? What is happening? I see you brothers and sisters rolling in. Sherry A is in the building. Chosen Ones is in the house. Mr. Wild Seed. Let's see. Jane is in the building. Ash Floors is in the house. What's going on with y'all, man? Benjamin B. Sacred 84. Lil Zeus World. I see y'all. Anytime Television in the building. Jeremiah. All right. Make sure y'all double tap the screen on your way in. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there has been a Trump and Epstein statue erected in front of the White House. I ain't making this up. Let's go right into the news with no further ado, y'all.
Statue of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein holding hands is causing outrage in Washington, D.C. It appeared near the White House with a plaque celebrating their friendship. An anonymous artist group called the Secret Handshake claims responsibility. Activists say it was timed for September's Friendship Month.
It's a good reminder that we're not going to be distracted and that this administration needs to release these files.
I mean, it's a message. You got to release the files or release what you know.
I think it's kind of important to keep on highlighting the connection, but I wish they did a better job on the faces.
President Trump blasted it as a waste of money, reminding reporters he banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago years ago. The White House accused Democrats and the media of ignoring Epstein's crimes.
Fox 11 weather.
Now, we got to understand how powerful of a message that is right in front of the White House, number one. And as a former D.C. native, you know, someone who was raised in Washington, D.C., I'm going to tell you right now, that was highly orchestrated. There's some type of civil war going on in America. And this group, the Hidden Hand Art Group, whoever they are, they had some finances behind them. They had some funding behind them. See, there's certain groups within the government fighting against itself. And what I mean by that is they're all a part of politics in one form or fashion. But what's happening is there's an implosion going on. There's an implosion going on. And I'm telling you, that's not easy to get near the White House like that. I mean, that is a popular photo area. But they had to plan this in advance. And they had to be highly organized. And honestly, it looks better than the statue that they had up, the Bitcoin statue that Trump put up of himself around that same area. This is crazy.
Is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino.
Holding hands is causing outrage in Washington of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Holding hands is causing outrage in Washington, D.C. It appeared near the White House with a...
Yo, these people are not going to let up on getting these files released. They're not going to let up. You know, you had Jimmy Kimmel return to nighttime television, and Jimmy Kimmel put it out there. He said, my ratings were low. This is what he said. My ratings were low, but now they up And Jimmy Kimmel even said, hey, Trump going to have to release those Epstein files to distract people from his show. So there's a great divide going on. There's a split. And I mean, I'm sitting back and I'm just enjoying the show. I'm really enjoying the show. Yeah, this is wonderful. You know, listen, the fact that there's a great divide like this and they're not letting up, it's good to see. It's good to see, right?
Plaque celebrating their friendship.
And they did this right on Friendship Month, so you know that they were planning in advance. They were planning. I mean, you're my best friend. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel, he got up there and he spoke the truth. He spoke the truth. And see, like, you got a lot of people who don't want us to have freedom of speech in America. They don't want us to be able to articulate what we feel. You know, they, at the end of the day, there's nothing they could have done to Jimmy Kimmel, really. You know, it was a slap on the wrist. Right now, Trump, he's upset. He's going at ABC because they brung him back. When, listen, Jimmy Kimmel didn't say anything disrespectful towards Kirk. He was more so taking jabs at Donald Trump for his lack of emotion in regards to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Yeah. But, you know, after this whole statue went up, Trump did something that some of us might have expected, but it's got real out there at the White House, y'all. Some chaos breaking out over there at the White House. And we're going to get into it. So Trump, that same morning, did a whole entire riot fence, summoned the National Guards to the White House and did a riot fence. I mean, this is crazy. Look at this, y'all.
Welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox, where we do want to turn our attention now to the latest regarding the crime crackdown, courtesy President Trump. Now, security is tightening over in D.C. New fencing continues to go up outside of the White House this morning ahead of a high-profile visit. And it comes as the National Guard remains on the ground in neighborhoods across D.C. Fox 5's Maureen Ume is joining us live right outside of Lafayette Park in the northwest side there of the area with the latest. Maureen.
To seeing this type of security fencing go up around the White House. Let's show you. It is going up again this morning. You can see here the fencing surrounding Lafayette Park, surrounding the White House. Folks can still get in and out. You see the open entrance there, so people can still get in and out. But they're putting this up ahead of elections first and foremost, and then also because we're being told by Secret Service that there's a high-profile person coming into town. We have been able to confirm that that person is Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. He is here for the UN General Assembly and expected to come here to D.C. Later on in the week. And
you know, these people are moving with a lot of fear, you know, in general. There's a lot of fear they're moving with. You know, they don't know how they were able to get a statue up near the White House like that. And there's a lot of fear going on. They had the National Guards out there and everything that morning, right?
So that's why this fencing is going up right now. Let's take you to video from earlier this morning when we saw the flatbed trucks arriving. They had the fencing on the trucks as well as concrete barriers surrounding the area as well. Again, we are hearing that this is an anticipation of Benjamin Netanyahu coming here to D.C. There is suspected there are going to be protests is what we're hearing. There's one planned in D.C., another one planned in New York. And so that is why.
Now, I want y'all to see what's going on right now, because there's a civil war happening in America right now. So Netanyahu, Israeli prime minister or president or whatever the hell they call him, he's coming into town and they're summoning the National Guards and riot fences because they're expecting protests. Now, why? Because something is happening with the people over there, you know, Jewish people and regular white Americans, what we would call white nationalists. There's an actual war going on between the two. There's a war going on. I mean, everybody can see it. It's similar to the Nazis versus the Jews back in the day. It's the same thing. We're sitting here, we're watching this. And it's just crazy how history is repeating itself. And we're seeing this implosion. Because Netanyahu is coming in town, they're beefing up security. They're beefing up National Guards. Why? There's some type of war, internal war going on with these individuals. Because you got white nationalists who are in disagreement with AIPAC, and it's creating a real firestorm. It's creating a firestorm. So to us, from the outside looking in, a lot of those of the truth intelligence community, we really don't care about what they got going on. We're just entertained by it at this point. We're just watching. We're watching because simultaneously while all this is happening, they're trying to shift the blame on us somehow. And I'm talking about God's people. Every time something happens, you got all this white on white crime going on. Matter of fact, a white guy just shot up an ICE camp in Texas. We're gonna cover that. You got Charlie Kirk's assassination done by a white guy. All of these school shootings done by white guys. Somehow they're trying to shift the blame to us. Meanwhile, they're having wars. They're having actual civil wars in their community. You had Donald Trump come out not too long ago and say Netanyahu is effing them. In those words, that's what he said, which we'll play that too. Oh, we're going to get to it. We got some sources. So, Netanyahu and Trump have this strange relationship. Y'all remember when the Iran war happened? They have a very strange dynamic where Trump got on national TV and said, look, y'all don't know what the F y'all doing when Israel and Iran was going at it. We never heard a president come out and oust Israeli prime minister or president like that. So they got some type of dynamic where you can see that they don't really get along that much. And I think whatever type of relationship they having is somewhat a microcosm or a snowball effect to what we're seeing in society in general. It's like a snowball effect for what we're seeing, right? But that's what it looks like. Let's go.
Fencing is up here for security measures. Again, the security, no indication how long this will be in place, but for now they continue to go up as the morning wears on. In addition to this, let's talk about the National Guard troops here in D.C. At the same time, they've been patrolling the D.C. area. That has been going on for more than a month now. Their deployment actually has been extended through the end of October as part of what the government is now calling security and beautification. That means they are here not only to help police, but also to help clean up graffiti and
yeah, they out here cleaning up trash, and that's what he got the National Guard doing, trying to make DC a utopia. Because I don't think Trump plans on leaving DC. The way it looks, man, he's putting these multi-million-dollar ballrooms in the White House. He had the whole Trump 2028 campaign thing. He had showing world leaders. I don't think this man planned on leaving. I don't think he plans on leaving, right?
Trash, and the numbers suggest that their presence is actually making a difference. In the Fairlawn neighborhood here in D.C. in the southeast area, police say robberies have dropped 67% in the last month. Car break-ins have fallen 80%, and there were no homicides reported during that stretch. But some residents do remain conflicted about their presence here. They don't know exactly what to make of the National Guard troops continuing to patrol D.C. streets. Take a listen to this guy.
What they're doing, I love it. Yes, crime has went down, but it's not going to last forever. We need a long-term solution. That temporary Band-Aid, that sore is not going to heal up.
And see, they're using these type of brothers and sisters, brothers and people in the community to keep on allowing Trump to tiptoe on tyranny. You can't just have military permanently, in DC, just out there policing the black community. Like you can't do that legally. But you got people begging for it. And it's tiptoeing on tyranny because, Now they've been able to spread this across other states. And we going into a martial law system very soon. I can remember when there was a show that used to come on. Yeah, there was a show that they probably paid this dude about $70. They probably paid him a good $70 to go do this. Come to the community. Yeah, make sure them niggas stay in line. Don't leave the community, Mr. President. Send more troops. You got those people. But there was a show back in the day called Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. There's one episode that really stands out where he's talking about martial law. The whole episode is about martial law. And everything they said in that episode, which that TV show was taken off air, by the way, but everything that they were saying, it's coming true. It's coming true. Well, let's go.
So you're hearing the two sides really of this whole issue with the National Guard troops. On one hand, people do like them being here. On the other hand, they feel like they're living in a militarized zone. And so there's a conflict and concern about that. Talking about the...
Hey, by the way, man, we are live on Instagram as well. I'm going to start leaving those lives up on Instagram. But if you over there on IG, make your way to YouTube so I can see your comments. And also, if you are on X, make your way to YouTube as well so I can see your comments if you want your comments to be seen. All right. All right. Let's go.
Fencing going up. It does continue to go up. I keep seeing trucks kind of patrolling here down the road in front of the White House. So they do continue to bring fencing up. It's going around the White House. No indication right now how long this might stay up. But if past experience is any indicator, it's fencing going up. It could be up for months. We'll have to just see how long this time this fencing stays up. That's it from here in D.C. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Fox 5's Maureen Ume, thank you so much there for your reporting. We'll keep in touch and we'll follow along with any new development.
Now, I got to bring out that receipt that y'all wanted with Trump saying that Netanyahu was effing him pretty much. And we're going to go to that real quick. And then we got to talk about this shooting that took place. More white on white, high profile crime going on. But we got to talk about this shooting that took place, at a Texas ICE facility. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about it. It's getting crazy out here. But peep this. So this is why I say they have a strange relationship to the point where, whenever. Well, we'll get into the video. Let's go.
Breaking news, Trump is pissed at Netanyahu in a new Wall Street Journal report. Following the strike on American ally Qatar, Trump reportedly said in a private meeting, quote, "He's fucking me," and is very upset at Netanyahu's recklessness and continuation of the war in Gaza. The report also says that Trump behind closed doors is very mad at Netanyahu and does not agree with him on anything, but he won't break with him publicly.
Now, there's a reason why he won't break with him publicly, because if Trump breaks with Netanyahu publicly, I personally believe that it's going to be all hell breaking loose, hell that they're not really ready for yet. There's going to be a major implosion that takes place in America. If their relationship falls apart publicly, it's going to get crazy, because then you're going to have the white nationalists, you're going to have the suspected white supremacists, you're going to have the neo-Nazis, you're going to have the new Klan, you're going to have all these people that think it's their time for uprising so they can get supremacy. See, you can say whatever you want about those people over there in Israel, but they're actually keeping things at bay. When you look at it, people like to blame them people for everything. They got their own conflicts over there. But if you really look at this, they're keeping things at bay. They're not letting they're not letting America turn into Nazi Germany. So that's what's happening. They're holding back the white supremacists from really taking over these damn groypers, all of these damn maniacs, these race soldiers. That's why I don't be talking about those people over there. They're listen. Whatever they got going on, that's what they got going on. But that's my opinion. This is my take on it. Right? And that's a hot take. Yep. Now, let's continue.
As the journalist says, there's something behind the scenes that we don't know about that is forcing this weird friendship and alliance. And that Trump thinks Netanyahu is hurting his image. But he still does nothing about it, and they're actually going to meet for the 4th time in D.C. this month.
And see, that's what he's talking about. That's what they getting the National Guards ready. That's what they beefing up security, getting riot fences together for right now. Because there's a portion of America, white America, middle America, who is against Netanyahu. And there's a portion of them who they really want this to become a Nazi Germany. They want to be able to engage everybody who's non-white. That's what they want to do. They want to engage everybody who's non-white. I see MAGA in the building. Even MAGA is understanding what's happening right now. They're even in agreement. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I see some of MAGA coming in. Some of them just hurling names and stuff, but some of them actually know what I'm talking about and they agree. But that's interesting to see. But let's go.
Something just unheard of world leaders to do. 4 visits in a month is nuts. Back in May, Trump signed a defense agreement with Qatar. And this reportedly made him very upset when hearing the news that a close ally in Qatar was hit by Israel without his permission. Why isn't Trump saying something about this publicly? Comment below.
Now, yeah, Trump is not going to say nothing about this publicly because they trying to keep everything, they trying to keep everything from imploding because that would be an issue. And all of this is alleged. Listen, for the record, my commentary is to stimulate thought. Let me put this out here. That's what my commentary is for. Some people consider it entertainment. I'm an astute. I'm a very critical thinker. And I look at what's going on and I talk about it from my perspective. And y'all able to chime in and use your minds, right? But now something else went down at an ICE facility, because you also have people who are against the white supremacist movement, who are white people. There's a lot of white people who are against MAGA. They are against Trump. They are against ICE. They are against tyranny. They are against all of it. They're against all of it. Somebody said this is not entertainment. It's really not. I said some people look at it as entertainment. This is real life. This is real life. And for somebody saying you're stimulating racism, race baiting, what are we? We're not even talking about race right now. What are you talking about? It's like some of these suspected white supremacists come into my chat. They don't know what to say. So they just come here. You're racist, dude. What are you talking about? We're not talking about race. Anyway, let's talk about this shooting that took place. Oh, no surprise. Well, we're going to get a little bit about his background now. I'm going to tell you, Fox News is already spinning a narrative. They're trying to imply that this individual right here is some type of associate to immigrants or something, like that he's affiliated with some migrants. Nah, we're going to get into the news to see what's going on here, right? Let's go.
Suspect. This is from a 2015 arrest in Collin County.
Again, that 29-year-old suspect is dead. Police say died by suicide as agents closed in. And today, investigators searched at least 2 properties tied to that suspect. Our team Fox 4 coverage continues now with David Sintendry, who is live in Fairview in Collin County. David.
Yeah, Heather and Casey, well, federal investigators left that Fairview neighborhood about an hour ago. As you just mentioned, they have been at multiple homes connected to this sniper, but it's unclear what evidence they have collected from inside of these homes. Sky 4 video shows FBI investigators in and out of a home at the bottom of this cul-de-sac in the Collin County city of Fairview. The home connected to Joshua Yan, the reported sniper who shot 3 people at an ICE facility in Dallas before shooting and killing himself.
That's insane to hear.
Sloan Mordecai, a neighbor, had no idea about the attack.
Man, we got to do something about, in this country, about these young white males who are doing all these high profile crimes. I mean, they're shooting the country up. They're shooting the country up. I mean, it's getting absolutely gross. I mean, it has to be addressed. It has to be addressed because meanwhile, while they're targeting the black community, over policing the black community, the elephant in the room is we keep having all these mass shootings by young white men. And also we got to talk about the conviction from the guy who actually is accused that he actually got convicted of, you know, trying to assassinate Trump. Another white male, more like a middle-aged white man. We're going to talk about that too, because this has to be addressed. And it's not about racism or anything like that, but it's the elephant in the room. These young white males keep getting a hold of AR-15s, M4s, semi-automatic weaponry, and they're committing high-profile crimes. It's nothing. That's just the truth. It's happening in the country. Somebody said that this guy looks Spanish. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Let's go.
Until she drove upon reporters down the street and federal agents next door.
Like I said, very sweet family, so that was really, really surprising to hear.
We don't know much about Yan. He does not appear to have a violent criminal history. But in 2015, he was arrested for marijuana possession in Collin County. And while records show Yan is connected to this home in Fairview, records indicate he most recently lived in Durant, Oklahoma. Video shows the FBI and SWAT focusing in on that listed address, but no word as to what was recovered. It's unclear if a manifesto, additional weapons, or anything else was found.
It is unfortunate.
Hey, I don't know why it's not letting me block certain people from this app, but if I have a moderator in the building, the person who says it's the Jews, block him. Block him. Just block him. All right, let's continue. Anybody saying stuff like that, blaming groups of people like that, but you already, just get them out of there. We're not going to do that. Anyway, let's go. Because y'all already seen what my sentiments are, so you're not going to come over here and disrespect the show. Right? Anyway, let's continue.
Most recent example we've seen of targeted violence, to include here in North Texas, where back on July 4th, we saw a coordinated attack carried out against an immigration detention center in Alvarado.
Federal investigators have not said what may have led Yan to develop reported anti-ICE views, or if there's any other evidence beyond what was written on shell casings found at the Dallas facility.
This is the third shooting in Texas directed at ICE or CBP.
Now, look, I'm going to say this as well. This could be fake. This could be fake. Now, somebody said you're blaming whites. No, I'm not blaming whites. It's simple to understand. We have a record this year of 46 mass shootings that were done by the hands of young white men. That's not me blaming white people. That's me bringing out facts. Facts. Now, why would I say that this is fake, right? Because you got these people charged up trying to engage, people. ICE want to expand. They want to be able to expand their duties to engage people. I'm just saying, some of this stuff can be staged. I don't believe everything on news. Somebody in the chat says it's the liberals and the ideas of the liberals. I mean, that's your opinion. I think it's a more deeper rooted issue, and I'm no liberal. But I think it's a more deeper rooted issue in America, because I personally don't blame the liberals for what happened to Charlie Kirk. We know that Tyler Robinson was raised by a Republican family, and he voted nonpartisan. And on top of that, the FBI already issued a statement that Tyler Kirk had no association, from what they found, with any liberals. So this is deeper than just liberals. Let's continue.
This must stop.
In Fairview, Wednesday evening, federal investigators were seen removing a box of possible evidence from the home.
You think just how crazy that is and how close it is to home now.
It took a while for Tim Johnson to learn that he lives down the street from the Fairview home connected to Jan. He says he only knew of Jan, no personal details.
But it's an unfortunate event.
And I have been in contact with an FBI spokesperson, but at this point in time, it is unclear when they plan to host that follow-up news conference. Casey and Heather, back to y'all.
All right, so David, quick question for you. I do understand that we've been able to learn a little bit about that.
All right, somebody in the chat says his boyfriend was a tranny, my dude. What that got to do with anything? Bruce Jenner is a Republican. I mean, Caitlyn, or whatever the hell y'all want to call him. What's your point? What that got to do with anything? During Trump's first election, did they not have Trump pride? Did Caitlyn Jenner not say that he spoke to Trump on a regular basis? What are we talking about? Since when does someone's sexuality have any merit on what political side they on? Nick Fuentes is a groyper who claims that having sex with women is gay. That's what Nick Fuentes said. And he's a Republican. What are we talking about? What do that have to do with anything? See, they want to convince people that gender, somebody's gender choice is a liberal construct. But look, there's a whole lot of secret homosexuals that are Republicans. How about that? There's a lot of people claiming to be conservative, but they just walking and whistling, whistling and walking, walking and whistling. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Do you know how many of those Nazis were secretly homosexuals? Oh, man. But anyway, we got to go in. We got to go in. Because we got to talk about the person who tried to assassinate Trump. Oh, yeah, he was charged. And I want y'all to see he was found guilty. We got to talk about this. And they saying he tried to stab himself after the guilty verdict. Breaking news, breaking news. Hold on, let's get to it. Because it's like no matter what, they try to point the finger at us. Well, Ryan Ruth, oh man, they did this 24 minutes. We don't need that long. Give me a moment. Let me pull another news joint out. Yeah. Yeah, this guy. Okay, let me see. Let's pull this one up. And y'all know I use all the news sources. You know what I mean? MSNBC, Fox, I don't care. We able to break them all down.
News here. I'm going to go back to Aaron right now. I'm being told that Ryan Ruth tried to stab himself or did stab himself in court right after the verdict was read. I'm going to go back to Aaron Gilchrist. Aaron, let us know what you know. And I know this is sort of a fluid situation. We're just getting this information now.
It is, Tom. We have several producers in the courthouse here trying to get eyes on exactly what's going on. I'm told that Ryan Ruth tried to kill himself in the courtroom with a pen, that he tried to stab himself in the neck, and that's why his daughter started screaming. She was screaming during the verdict. She was screaming, "Dad, don't do anything. Dad, I'm going to get you out." She started cursing, apparently, at the judge in the middle of the courtroom as all of this was happening.
Look at this dude. He looks like a pervert. Like, this dude gives off some real strange vibes, bro. But see, look, it wasn't a black man that tried to take out Donald Trump. See, we don't hate like that. We don't go out here and jump out there like that. Listen, it's their own people, bro. It's their own people. He looked like he would have been at the Epstein Island. Look at this.
Again, we can point out that Ryan Ruth was representing himself. I was in the courtroom during the entire closing arguments earlier today. Ryan Ruth seated at a table by himself with a big stack of documents, presumably with pens or pencils as well at that point. And so it seems as though as this day was wrapping up, he was able to grab a pen and try to stab himself in the neck with that pen, as I'm being told by our producers who were in the courthouse as the verdict was being read here. He, of course, marshals in the room tried quickly to restrain him. He was struggling against the marshals in there, and ultimately they were able to drag him out of the courtroom. A dramatic culmination, Tom, to a trial here that we know at different points was something that was frustrating for the judge. Today, during Ruth's closing arguments, I heard the prosecutors object at least half a dozen times. The judge interjected during his closing arguments several times to stop him from saying things that he was not supposed to say, to redirect him to make sure that he was only discussing evidence that had been presented to this jury, admonishing him and at one point telling him that he needed to stick to the subject matter at hand and not try to introduce evidence that had already been ruled inadmissible. And
they're trying to figure out what the motive is. They're trying to figure out what the motive is from these shooters. I think middle America is going insane. And I think it's because they're running out of time. You know, they're not giving the children of the Most High their tangibles. You know, they keep ignoring history. They keep ignoring history. And what's happening is they're losing control at their own doorstep, and everything is just blowing up in their faces.
Some cases, or reference other laws that were not a part of the jury instructions in this case. And now we have this word, Tom, that there's been this dramatic moment in the courtroom where the suspect, the defendant here, in representing himself and hearing the verdict that was 5 counts guilty against him, he
looked like he hang out in front of elementary schools, bro, offering kids Skittles and candies, and this dude looks hella creepy, bro. Hella creepy. I'm telling you. They looked at this one, this guy right here. I don't know. I don't know where they got this dude. He looked like he crawled out of hell. Let me see. Let's read this. The Go team says, "My white brothers, it's not the time to divide. We're Americans, regardless of color. A foreign enemy has infiltrated our lands and playing off our emotions about a past we have yet to resolve." That's an interesting comment right there. And it's up to those in charge. It's up to those in charge to resolve those issues. Because let me make this clear. If they don't resolve these issues, they're going to continue. If they don't right the wrongs that they have done in the transatlantic slave trade, if they don't right the wrongs that they have done in Black Wall Street, Rosewood, the Reconstruction era, Jim Crow, if they don't right the wrongs that they've created, these things will continue to happen until it boils over.
He tried to take his own life with a pen in the courtroom, trying to stab himself in the neck, Tom.
Aaron, you said you were in the courtroom for those closing arguments. Walk our viewers through exactly how he would have been able to do this. I know you laid out a little bit of what you remember. Some of the sketches that we're seeing from inside.
For the person in the chat, I know who the Most High's chosen people are. I know who the 12 tribes of Israel is. I know who the curses are speaking of in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. For the record, I know that. Let's go.
Reports show him shackled up. I don't know if they're handcuffs. I don't know if he's shackled to the chair, what that is. This is the image that I was talking about right here. We put up for our viewers one of the sketches.
Right.
How far are the marshals from this table? So basically what I'm getting at is how much time would he had to grab that pen, stab himself in the neck before they got to him?
So I think the sketch that you were seeing with him in shackles was from earlier on in the proceedings here. Today, he was not shackled. The judge did not want the jury to see him in a prison uniform. He was wearing a suit and tie in front of the jury today, as has been the case throughout the course of the trial that lasted about 8 days with testimony, 9 if you count today with the closing arguments. And in terms of the room layout, Ruth was seated at a large table by himself. His standby counsel, the lawyers, the public defenders who were supposed to represent him, were seated at a little table just a few feet away from the table where he was sitting. Prosecutors on the other side of the room. There were U.S. Marshals and court security in the room during this moment. And so it would have been really just a few seconds that it would have taken for court officers to be able to grab Ruth. At this point, we don't believe that he was able to injure himself with that pen, even though he did sort of put it at his neck and try to stab himself.
So, they got the person who tried to assassinate Trump, and guess what? It wasn't a black person. It wasn't a person of color. You got all these shootings going on all across the country. They got to be resolved. And somebody came in the chat and accused me of clickbaiting, saying that I don't know what they think is not real, but the statue is real. Somebody really put up a Epstein statue. Matter of fact, we're going to go back there because, people this is a shorts feed and people think I'm clickbaiting. So we got to go back there real quick because they think it's a game, right? They really think it's a game. Now, we're not playing games over here.
Jeffrey Epstein holding hands is causing outrage in Washington, D.C.
Yo, why they got one leg up like that? Yo, this is crazy, bro. Yeah, man. Whoever did this was bold. I think it was called the Hidden Hand Art Group or something like that. But this is a real statement right here. This is a real statement right here. Look, some of Middle America is not letting up on this Epstein thing. They're going to keep on pushing.
It appeared near the White House with a plaque celebrating their friendship. An anonymous artist group called the Secret Handshake claims responsibility.
Yo, look at that. And then they got the American First joint right there, the American First banner. And by the way, the Klan is the people who actually created America First back in the day. But anyway, let's go.
Activists say it was timed for September's Friendship Month.
Yo, look at Trump's face, bro. Yo, they did Trump's face dirty, cuz he looked Botoxed out, bro. That's wild. Yeah, look, whoever did this, yo, they was crazy with it. The disrespect is uncanny. Yeah. Them people release them files. We hear all of that. We hear all of that, y'all, that nonsense y'all talking, but look, release them files.
It's a good reminder that we're not going to be distracted and that this administration needs to release these files.
See, when you got Americans who look like this brother right here, right? what you would consider a good old boy. When you got Americans who look like this, and there's a lot of them who don't want to see Trump in office. There's a lot of them who literally, they want those Epstein files released. You know, you got some people out there, they don't care about whether they get released or not. But look, middle America's torn. They want it. They want it out. See, they don't want that type of degeneracy going on in their community. You know, in our community, people make light of the Diddy stuff. Diddy was a horrible individual who did a lot more than just sleep with, you know what I'm saying, male prostitutes and have freak offs. There's a lot more to the Diddy story that need to be brought out. But our community make light of it, make comedy out of it. You know what I'm saying? You notice you didn't see that going on in middle of America. Nah, middle America didn't have memes about Epstein. They didn't have memes with Epstein and Trump. This ain't a meme right here. This is disrespect to Trump and Epstein. But our people was making light of Diddy. Have Diddy coming out the courthouse, dancing, people making light of it. No. Middle America, you know, righteous white people, the righteous part of middle America. You know, not the fake Christians, but the real, you know, the real moral people, the moral white people, the good white people. Yeah, they want this stuff released. They don't look. They don't want that type of even if it's just they don't want that degeneracy in their community without being unchecked. Let me see. Let me pull something up real quick. Because, you know, they try to put very little news coverage about this. But nah, we're going to go. We're going to go. We're going to go into it. And everybody double tap the screen to get the likes up. Look at this. Holding hands.
Heads on the National District. Pop-up art is turning heads on the National Mall. It's a statue depicting the president and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, set up on the lawn near 3rd Street overnight. DC News Now's Marielle Carbone joining us live on the mall now. And Marielle, what are you learning about the people behind this?
Well, Annalisa, they're certainly out here trying to get people's attention. That's really the point of this. Now, this is
Hey, Exactor in the chat. I see your comment. The Exactor. Yes, I seen all of that. And hey, listen, after a little bit later on, I'm gonna be doing a stream. I'm gonna be doing a stream, and I'm gonna be breaking down all of that. All right. Yeah, he got look at this, man. They got them looking crazy. Look, MAGA had to get out of here. They were like, oh, he's not lying. This really happened.
The president and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, set up on the lawn near 3rd Street overnight. DC News Now's Marielle Carbone joining us live on the mall now. And Marielle, what are you learning about the people behind this?
Well, Annalisa, they're certainly out here trying to get people's attention. That's really the point of this. Now, this is not the first statue like this to pop up on the mall. In fact, the group behind it has popped up other ones like this going after the president. This specific one focusing in on that alleged relationship between the president and Epstein.
I'm on my way home, walking home from the doctor's office, and surprise!
At the National Mall, people stopping, staring, and snapping photos.
I think it's fantastic. I took some pictures. I'm sending them to my sister down in North Carolina.
The 12-foot.
Yo, see, these are the people I can rock with. You know what I mean? Because they're not. Listen, MAGA. Let me say this. Not even MAGA. Middle America. You got to choose sides, man. See, these are the type of white people I can have lunch with, bro. I can have lunch with them. Y'all, I know I'll be getting accused of being racist and all that. No, I will have lunch with this lady. You know what I'm saying? Because like there's a line in the sand that's been drawn. And listen, at this point, if you just worship in MAGA no matter what, like I can hang out with a Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, I can hang out with Jimmy Kimmel. I can hang out with one of these people out there. Yeah, I can hang with them. These are good white people. I can rock with them. Yeah. Those who want, hold on, man. Stick Def. Somebody block him. If I Laura Lee, please get Stick Def out of here. He's hurling obscenities in the chat. Y'all gotta be on point. You know, when we get MAGA in the building, dirty MAGA in particular, they are reckless. You have to get that stuff out of there. And so, yeah, I can rock with these people who want the Epstein files released. I can rock with them. People who not just out here worshiping Trump, worshiping MAGA, people who not part of the MAGA cult. You know, the fake Christians. I can't rock with them fake Christians.
Pictures, I'm sending them to my sister down in North Carolina.
The 12-foot-tall statue depicts the president and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein holding hands, along with a plaque that reads, "In honor of Friendship Month, we celebrate the long-lasting bond between President Donald J. Trump and his closest friend, Jeffrey Epstein."
It's hilarious. It's entirely appropriate. Two of them are, bound at the hip.
Two other plaques include
They got him bound at the hip.
quotes from a birthday note allegedly written by the president to Epstein. The White House has denied the letter is legitimate.
The president did not write this letter. He did not sign this letter.
The pop-up comes nearly 2 weeks after the Senate voted 51-49 against a bill that would have forced the public release of case files related to the sex trafficking investigation.
Y'all got to stop blaming everything on Democrats, man. Y'all got to stop that, man. Y'all got to stop doing that, bro. Y'all, listen, there may be people who they don't even care about politics who want the Epstein files released. What are you talking about? Anyway.
To Epstein, those files dubbed the Epstein files.
I think there are probably a lot of people in it, and like all, devious stuff, whoever's in it, it should all come to light, either side.
I think it's something that people should not forget.
If it's the Democrats, prove it. If it's the Democrats, give me their voting records. If not, it's false claims. And I don't care whether they are Democrats. I don't care. Can we all agree that we want to get these PDF files charged for what they did? Can we all just agree on that? Because you MAGA cult members, y'all just don't get the point. That's what I'm telling you, dirty MAGA, they some weird folks, bro. All this deflection. So y'all can't agree that the Epstein files should be released. Any decent American should want the Epstein files released. Any decent American. Regardless of what your political views are. Let's go.
Onlooker Joey Poole calling the statue a reminder of what's at stake.
I think that we should hold our leaders accountable if they indeed are in there.
Yeah, he said it. Our leaders should be held accountable. This is a status symbol. This is a bold proclamation and putting a statue up like this for all of DC to see.
And the group responsible for the statues remaining anonymous. Annalise, it's unclear how long this will be here. Reporting live from the National Mall, I'm Ariel Carbone at DC News Now.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting heated out here in America. Y'all already know, man, I got more material coming. If you're new to the platform, make sure you subscribe. Whether you agree or disagree, you must admit that this channel stimulates a lot of thought. I'm not here to make friends with anyone. All right. That's not what my purpose is here. Also, if you want to sponsor the show, go ahead and sponsor me via Cash App. If you are day one, if you're a fan of the program, if you like what I'm putting out, that QR code on your screen, it does work. And you can support me via Cash App. Also, if you want to support and get something in exchange, go to nubreedglobaltruth.com or go ahead and shortcut your way there. by scanning this here QR code. All right. Of course, I got more material coming. This is a very newsworthy day. There's a lot going on, and I'm going to be bringing it